because I don't want anybody to miss that. So, okay. Go ahead.
All right. So here it is. The author is, oh, let me find her name. Yeah, it says, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us most. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightening about shrinking so that others won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine, as children do. We are born to make manifest the glory of God that was within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others.
Love it.
And I just thought that hit home for me, because
very cool.
Sometimes it kind of scares me that, you know, as you rank up, you kind of try and take yourself back down to the level of where you were when you were before you even started, and it's don't do that. Don't do that. Be who you are. You've earned where you've gotten to, and so be that person. You're a whole new person now. First off, I have to explain a little bit about Whitney, because some of you on here may not know exactly who Whitney Ward is. She is a Sapphire Ambassador with Plexus Slim. She started just a little over a year and a half ago. She was in a different MLM, different network marketing company. She was with Leah Sophia, had been one of their top salesmen for years, and she actually told me how much she made. So her average was about $70,000 a year. And she said if she was real lucky, she'd make about $100,000. But that was their main income. And in November so next month will be 2 years. So in November, they told her, I guess their company hadn't managed their finances well. Plexus is amazing that way. And they said, we're sorry, but we have to close down our company, and next month is our last month. They had just bought a brand new house with all of the money that they had. They had nothing. And she went into panic mode. She went to every multi-level marketing business that there is out there. Every network marketing business she could find. She researched. Her whole deal was the money end of it. It had nothing to do with anything to do with the product. And so when she found the Plexus compensation plan, that's when she knew that she had found the right one. And so she talked to some of her friends that she already had. And by the time she joined, she had 20 people ready to join with her. So she fast started right to gold and just went nuts after that. She had her Lexus in 9 months. And in the meantime, here sits Edith in St. George, Utah. Well, Whitney's actually from a little town called Hurricane, about 25 miles from me. But she lives in Vegas. And she was coming here to do parties, and she invited me to her parties. And then the next thing I knew, she was inviting me to join in her Gold and Above group. And she called me into a meeting with all of her Gold and Above. And I was quite uncomfortable, and I took her aside and I just said, Whitney, I said, I'm not part of your team. And she told me, Edith, yes, you are. And she said, Helen McFadden did this for me. And she said, and I'm going to do this for you. And so she has literally taken me under her wing here in St. George, because she has these huge parties. She has, I mean, if you've seen the pictures, there's a lot of people that come, and the presentations are amazing. And I basically get to sit back with whoever I bring and let them listen to Whitney. And when she gets up there and talks about her testimony and about how much it saved her family, she told herself she needed to make $3,000 her first month. She surpassed it. And she's just been going like that ever since. And so she's included me into, like, on some of the Facebook pages that they have for her Gold and Above. I'm in that group with her. And she decided that she was going to do a slumber party, a sleepover, and do a training. And she invited me. Unbelievable that she invited me. And she said, you can bring one person with you. And she says, pick one on your team that is really putting it out there and really working hard and really striving to do this. And of course, I picked Lisa. Lisa does 10, 20 messages a day. She is constantly on the phone, going to people's homes. She is working the business, and she's working it hard. And so I picked Lisa to go with me, and we went and spent Friday night and most of Saturday day. So it was about 7 or 8 hours of training that we spent. And we had to buy a book. It is called, where did I set my book? This one. Can you see it? Strength Finders 2.0. And it is by Tom Rath. And you have to get a new one of these because every book has a code in the back of it. And you go on and you take an online test, and it basically tells you your personality and your personality strengths. And so I went through and I did it, and it came up with my strengths. And so she printed out all of our strengths so that we would have them with us when we were there. My top strengths was positivity. That's my very top one, is I'm positive. One called woo, and she goes, oh, I want to be a woo so bad. So a woo is another thing, kind of like it's like a personality thing. Communications, I'm an activator, and significance. And so it goes through and explains to me what these things mean to me, and that these are my strengths, and that I should run with my strengths and not try and push myself. It's like in school when you really are bad at math, what do? They get you a tutor. They get you help. They keep you after school. Your parents ground you. That's what happens when you're not good in a certain subject. They force that subject on you so that you will be good on that subject instead of working you with your strengths. So this kind of tells you, take the strengths that you were given and run with them, because those are the things that are going to get you to the highest level that you need to be in. She said, find a team, find your power partner. Find a power partner that complements yours. One of the ones that it tells me to find is a futuristic person, one that looks ahead. Imagine that. Lisa's one. It is, and one lady read through mine. Lisa's got positivity as, I think, her second one. And as the lady read through mine, and then we passed them around the room, and they critiqued each of ours, and they each put notes on ours. And so we were able to get feedback from what they actually saw in us. And it was really amazing, some of the things that they wrote down in here on my things that I would read, and I didn't see as much positive, and they would highlight and underline and tell me how great this part was for me. I got all kinds of notes written. So so then I took Lisa, and I told Lisa I'd give her a second. I wanted to kind of tell her feedback a little bit from what she took from the meeting. So Lisa, do you want to unmute yourself and give what you got out of that?
Thank you for taking me with you, number one. That was an amazing experience. I was nervous as heck going because I did not know any of these people. Here's Whitney. She's an emerald. And Sapphire. And the minute we walked in that door, it was like that home was our home. The training was incredible. And it's like Edith was saying, this Strengths Finder. When I first done my test, I thought, and I told Edith, I think it was the night before we had to go, I says, well, no wonder. I said, I'll never be able to do plexus. I'm too nice. I'm just too nice. You know. And so I was thinking that my strengths were my weaknesses. And they, between, I think there was 12 of them, 12 or 13, they made me totally relook at what my strengths are and what strengths that I need with me, in other words, to power up with, to make me go further instead of focusing on what I first seen. They seen great things.
Yes.
And they said, boy, from reading, I think it was on Edith, they said, man, from reading this, I can see how you two have been friends for so many years.
Yep.
You know, it was, and when we were getting ready to end, she said, everybody stand up and hold hands. And we stood up in a circle and we held hands and we had a prayer. And then she says, okay, let's bow our heads down and get a picture. And that still makes me cry. I mean, it was such a powerful, and it's like I met a whole nother part of the Plexus family, you know, and it was amazing. I learned a whole lot about myself. And she said, like Edith said, to focus on your strengths and not your weaknesses. And find somebody who is strong where you're weak. Power up with that person. And you'll go a long ways.
Absolutely. It was amazing, and the fact that they invited us, we got there, we had dinner. We could have stayed the night. There was actually, I mean, this house was huge, but I'm right around the corner from where it was, and so Lisa and I just came back to my house, and then we went back over in the morning. They fed us breakfast, and then right back to work. And we're talking, these girls were there in their sweatpants, you know, in their yoga pants, and hair pulled back, no makeup. It wasn't like a big deal. Everybody wasn't all fancy and showy. We had a baby there. It was just training, and we sat down. Some of the very first things that Whitney said, we had just done a meeting on Wednesday. We'd done our big Plexus meeting for the month that we do here. And she said, one of the first things that I want to ask you is the people that you brought to that meeting, she said, have they joined or have they become a customer yet? And she kind of gave a pause and she said, if they haven't, why not? She said, they left that meeting wanting to join or be a customer to you. And if you haven't gotten back with them yet, that's your fault. She said, you need to follow up with those people that you brought to that meeting, and you need to hook up with them. They left there wanting to join. They want something, or they wouldn't have been there. So that's one of my hard parts is follow up. I am good to go when it's out the door and I am enthusiastic. Follow up is one of my harder things that I need to be able to work on. So I followed up with the 2 girls that came with me. I now have a new ambassador and I have a new customer. And so just to let you know, that's kind of how the meeting went. I kind of took some notes as we were going along because I love Whitney's notes. Says, you just see yourself as a jewel even before you are one. She said, act like a jewel to become a jewel. She saw herself, she says she pictured herself as an emerald, you know, and she did it in 9 months. In 9 months, she was an emerald because she pictured it, she wanted it, and she went after it. So if you're playing in this and you're just doing a post every now and again, or you message a friend once or twice a week, that's not really being committed. If you're going to be committed and you want this to be your business and you want to help people and you want to make it grow, then you're going to have to do more than that. You're going to have to do your IPAs, your 3 to 5 messages a day. Make sure you're posting. Brand yourself. Brand yourself with Plexus. Put it out there. If you're not putting it out there, no one knows you do it. She says, oh, one thing that she did with me, because as I was reading through what my take was on it, I said, I am able to talk people into joining. And Jeannie's heard me say that before. And she said, she stopped me right there and she said, no, you're not able to talk them into joining. What you are doing is you are helping them to see that they need it. And I had to do a turnaround and think, instead of me being loud and pushy and talking them into joining, I need to tell them why it's good for them and why the business is good for them, why the products are good for them. It makes all the difference in how I come across.
That's like, I've had a lot of people say, well, I can't sell things.
Yeah.
And she stressed, we are not salesmen.
Right.
We are sharing. If we did not share, those people that so desperately need what we have would not know about it. And
Exactly.
she also said something else that has really stuck out with me because I've struggled a lot with it, and that is the learning to bless and release.
Yes.
That's a big one for me. And that's why I told Edith, I can't do this. I'm too nice. You know, it's like I want to baby everybody all the time and take care of them. And so she gave me a whole different outlook on the way I'm doing things and the way I'm looking at the whole picture. And for her to go into this solely for the compensation plan, that struck me too, because I've been researching the compensation plan now. I mean, I thought I knew it, but I don't know the compensation plan. Nothing like I need to.
It is amazing. That was seriously one of the first things that I started looking into. I started watching Sonia Dudley videos, and she was having graphs up on the board, drawing little circles. Me, 3 down here, 3 down here. Has anybody watched that video? That was one of the very first ones that I watched, with Sonia Dudley explaining how this worked, because I didn't know. All of a sudden, I've got a team, and I had no idea what to do with my team, which really is, I kind of feel like it's better for me now, because now I know more of what I'm doing. A big question to ask yourself, why will I be a diamond? That is what she put out there to us. Why will I be a diamond? This is something that when you're done tonight, write it down. That is your why. Why are you going to be a diamond? I came up with some pretty good reasons of why I wanted to be a diamond and why I was going to become one. She says you find your path and you run with it. You find your strategy and what works for you, and if it's working for you, then run with it and do what is working for you. She also recommended the same book that we already have. She recommended the What to Say When You Talk to Yourself, so that you will know better how to talk to yourself. Quit cutting yourself down. Quit saying, I'm forever saying I'm clumsy. Well, I still am. I try and tell myself that I'm not, but when I pick myself up off the floor, I'm like, yeah, well, you still kind of are. but I'm trying to get better, okay?
Something can't be helped.
I know, right? it just is what it is. Let me ask the whole room. Anybody ever get grounded from running by their mom when they were 12? Yes, I did. I fell one too many times, and my mother got so mad, and she said, "You are grounded from running." So she just says, excuse me, find a diamond that is like you. Watch Diamond Dogs, 1 a day for a week. And Jeannie and Dusty actually posted a whole list of diamonds and the reason and the hows and the whys that they made it. The diamonds with kids, diamonds, that were retired, diamonds that took longer. So we've got that already at our fingertips to go in and look and watch. And so you need to see that these people are the same. They're the same as us. I mean, look at Jeannie's story. Look at Jeannie's starting story. She was right down in the pits of almost losing a lot of her everything. And now look at her. I mean, she's amazing. And what would we do without her? And I tell everyone, I actually told my new ambassador today, I said, we lucked into this team. We lucked into this team. I had the option. One of my good friends was on another team. That's how I found out about Plexus. But I called my niece to ask her if she knew about it, and I was going to join, and she said, I'm joining already. And I said, well, all right, I'll sign under you. I had not met any of these ladies. I joined to lose weight. That was it. And to get the cheaper price, not to share or sell it. That was not my intention at all. And then I found my new family. I consider this team my new family. I seriously do. And I go a while without talking to Jeannie, and I'm like, I need my Jeannie fix. Because I'm back to work, so it's hard for me to hook up with her. And so we make a time that we can sit down and we can chat. So now I think we could probably throw that out there. We can do some questions if you guys have any on this, because it honestly was an amazing test to take. It really would be worth your time to take it so that you can see what your strengths are. It really helped us in that room because we went around person to person and they shared their strengths, and I wrote down every strength of every person in that room, because in mine it tells me who I should pair up with. In several places it tells me the certain people that I need to find to help me where I am weaker. So we got that book about, I guess we had for about a week, didn't we, Lisa, before?
Yeah, about a week.
Probably about a week, and we took the test. It takes about 45 minutes, and it's fast-paced. If you don't answer the question in 20 seconds, the question disappears. And that also becomes part of your answer because you were indecisive in that area. And so it's a 20-second fast-paced. You've got like 5 answers, one that you need to click on. It's like a multiple choice of how you feel about certain things. And by the time they're done with you, they will have, and let me tell you, Lisa's got a positivity. I've got positivity. Ours are completely different in how we are positive. It's not even the same. It's not like it's not the same exact thing. We answer questions differently, and so her positive side is different than mine. And there were like 3 woos in the room, and I guess woo, let me find you my woo. It says, this is just the short, it says, people who are especially talented in the woo theme love the challenge of meeting new people and winning them over. They derive satisfaction from breaking the ice and making connections with another person. And I seriously am that weird way. I like to talk to new people. I go out and I can't be in a room and be silent. Jeannie knows that. I just am not silent, and I meet people, and I meet people from all over. My very first convention, I had no clue anyone. And first thing I did is I went and sat down on the floor because they had not got enough chairs. And I sat down on the floor by this girl, and I said, "Hi, I'm Edith. I'm from Utah. What's your name?" And we're still friends on Facebook. So that's kind of how I run. And so it's really interesting. It's really interesting to read back through this and read what the strengths are, and it tells me a little bit of what I need to do to power myself forward.
Love that, Edith. Very good. Very good. Yeah, anybody can unmute too if they have any questions, or if you guys want to type it in for Edith too, please feel free. But I do have one for you, Edith. So after doing that test, how are you using that info towards your Plexus business so far? How have you felt you've implemented that in?
I feel like instead of worrying about things, okay, my big downfall, I hate to hand out cards, okay? You know that. Everybody knows that. It's my big challenge from Dusty, even to hand out cards. Yep. I'm not going to worry about it. If I see someone new, I'm not going out of my way. I'm not leaving my house going, I'm handing out 5 cards today. Now, I might go out and talk to 5 people today, which would honestly, for me, because I choke when I pull out a business card and I'm like, here's my business card, call me, and then I walk out and I'm like, what's stupid? I'm a dork when I do it. And so, but if I go up to someone and I start talking about plexus, that's more of, I've got communication is one of my top strengths. The positivity that they can hear in my voice, that's one of my top strengths. When I talk to them and when they see me and they see how excited I am, that is what gets these 2 new ones that I just got. That is what has brought them along, is I called them both. I called them both on the phone and I said, okay, hey, you are meeting night. Everybody that came to that meeting got samples. Whitney had, she has all of us bring sticks of Slim, which is a really great idea. So I'll bring like 3 sticks of Slim. And so every ambassador brings Slim, and then they put it on a card, just a little welcome card, and everybody who walks in the door gets 2 or 3, whatever's in there, whatever they've got stapled to it, they get that for that day. And so everybody wins a prize. And then I always walk mine outside when they're leaving, and I'll say, hold on, come on over to my truck. And I will give them another either 3 or 7 day trial. So they've already got basically a 6 to 10 day trial to try out. Yeah. And then I called them both the next week and I said, so how are you liking it? And the one lady, she signed as a customer that night. I got her all set up. And then today, her best friend signed up. She signed up as an ambassador, and she said, are you going to feel bad if Jeanette signs up under me? And I said, absolutely not. I said, that's what I'm doing with my best friend. I said, Lisa and I are on the same team. If Lisa were on a sideline team for me, I mean, it would still be fun, but having us be on the same team is so much fun. Yeah. And that is what I have shared, is how much fun I'm having with this. I'm having a blast. My kids are gone. I am an empty nester. I have no grandkids, should have, don't. And so I need something to fill that space in my life, and it turns out that I have found Plexus, and I'm able to help people get healthy. The amazing testimonies that I have just on my team, and I know she's probably, yeah, I see her. There's Sarah right there. Sarah and Chris it's like they're my miracle. And if I wouldn't have started sharing, and if I wouldn't have been pushy and positive with Sarah, she'll say different. I just basically made her take the list of ingredients into Chris's doctor, because I had read enough on it that I knew that the help was there for him and that it just might help. And so you just have to keep sharing. Yeah. And the 2 ladies that just barely this week signed up, they have been watching me do this. They've worked with me for, oh gosh, probably 15 years. So they've been watching this for 3 years. So if you're brand new, some of you guys that are like on a roll, like Liberty, you're on a roll right now. In a while, you'll see some attrition from some of the ones that, well, they maybe just don't want to do everything. This is what happened to Lisa, and she started getting some white lines. It's frustrating. Don't worry about those white lines. You're going to get a lot of them. There will be a lot of white lines.
I don't go back there any more than I have to right now.
I watched Rachel, what's her last name? She's a diamond, and I watched her today, and she went through her back office, and I'll tell you what, she showed us her back office. She went through her white lines. She has 1,000 people under her, and she says there are 600 that are white lines. And she goes, and then you'll see these blue lines every once in a while. And she goes, they're kind of fakers because they're really not working it. They are buying the product, so you are getting part of it. But you only have a few runners, so keep sharing. You will find the person that's going to, that there will be a few that will run with you, and that they really can see the opportunity that Plexus has for you. And that's kind of where I'm I still believe that. I have not ranked to Emerald yet, but I'm going to. The day will come that St. George, Utah is going to have an Emerald, and her name's going to be Edith, and there might be others here by then, but that's okay. I will hit that rank, and I'm going to get it done, and one step at a time. I've got myself set up. I want to hit Ruby before we go to Jeannie's little retreat that we're going to go to. I think I've already earned it. I think I'll earn it at the end of this month by re-ranking, but I want to hit Ruby, and so that is what my goal is. If I don't hit it, then I'm going to reset that goal, and I'm going to do it again. I'm not going to get discouraged. That is one thing that I really do my best to try not to let myself be. I hate to be discouraged. It is, I guess, part of my, I'm a very optimistic person. And so if you can put out your optimism and show people how amazing this opportunity is and how amazing that the products are, you really can't go wrong with it. But you have to open your mouth and you have to message them. You have to contact them, or they're never going to know. They're not going to come find you. Very rarely will you have somebody out of the blue message you and say, tell me about your Plexus stuff. You will get that, but mostly you have to talk to them.
That's right. Yep. Very good. And Edith, if you will too, before I forget, will you post that book in the team pages for everyone? If you don't mind, just post a picture of it or whatever too, so that anybody else, and then anybody that watches the recording will have that info too. If you would, that'd be awesome. Okay. And I'm glad you reminded me too on Sonia Dudley's video. I'll repost that as well. The one because that's a great one. That's always good to watch over and over. So I'll post that for everybody. I'm glad you brought that up as well. So.
And that one's been out there longer than I have.
Yep.
It's been out there a long time, but it still explains. I mean, there's been a few things added, like the being able to re-rank under yourself, to sign back up under yourself. That's been added since that video, because that was over 3 years ago that I think that she posted it. But there are some really good compensation plan videos out there. Get out there, find the information, get yourself knowledgeable so that when you are asked questions, you can answer them.
Yep, perfect. Perfect. Thank you, Edith. Well, we better let these people go because I know it's getting long. Do you guys have any other questions for Edith or Lisa or anything? And if you guys do too, I know they would be more than happy to answer them for you guys on the team page too, or I know those two are really good about that. Ask them under the team call or just on the team page themselves. So, but
shoot me a message. If you've got any questions, just shoot me a message. I'm always available.
Me too.
Thank you, Lisa and Edith. I appreciate that because I think it's I just want her to share because I love, Dusty and I talk about finding your strengths, building on your strengths, not your weaknesses, but sometimes it takes people to hear it from others to finally just sink in, and doing those tests are amazing, like Edith mentioned, because you have to be yourself and you have to use your strengths, you guys. So thank you, Edith and Lisa, very, very much. Appreciate it. Thank you all, you guys, for taking the time tonight to join us. It's great to see you guys as usual. And everybody enjoy your evenings with your family. We'll be talking soon. Thank you, Edith and Lisa, one more time.